The following is a Candlepin Stars and Strikes rebroadcast featuring some of our most memorable programs.
Candlepin Stars and Strikes.
Look at this. Look at
Candlepin Stars and Strikes is sponsored in part by Somerville Lumber. Let's do it. Push it. That's the goal. It's a goal. Candlepin Stars and Strikes is produced in conjunction with the New Hampshire Candlepin Bowling Association. And now your hosts, Doug Brown and Dan Murphy.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Park Place Lanes in Windham, New Hampshire, and hope everybody had a Merry Christmas. I'm Doug Brown, along with Dan Murphy, and we have reached Championship Week here on Stars and Strikes with the first of 2 hours of Candlepin bowling today. Of course, Stars and Strikes doubles at 5, and we've got our top two seeded bowlers ready to do battle here.
I guess that's the way it's supposed to end up. Number one and number two seeds, sweaty palms and everything this week, Championship Week, a lot at stake.
All right, let's meet our two bowlers and get you caught up as to who will be competing this week. First of all, our number two seed going for his second straight win from Ware, New Hampshire, Kevin Davis.
Kevin averages 123, has a high single 201, a high triple 463, and his roll-off score was 677.
And last week, Kevin rolled a 374 to knock off Stan Mayo, who threw a 359. So Kevin goes for win number 2 in a row, and he will try it against our number one seed, who's trying for the double play today, from Dover, New Hampshire, Bob Mazur.
Okay, and Bob averages 126, high single 181, high triple of 453, and his roll-off score, the top one in the roll-off, at 694.
You'll also be seeing Bob later on this afternoon on Stars and Strikes Doubles because he's part of the number one seeded team on that show as well with Bob Kelly. Now, of course, we have $500 for the runner-up today, $1,000 to the winner of today's show, and more importantly, the winner also moves into the Tri-State Megabucks Tournament of Champions and will become our third qualifier. Peter Flynn and Paul Berger have already advanced. We'll tell you more about that and get to the bowling between Kevin Davis and Bob Mazur after these messages. Don't go away. And so we are left with our top two seeded bowlers in this series here on Stars and Strikes. Mike Sargent beat Dan Mitchell in our opening week. Then Stan Mayo, the number 3 seed, knocked off Mike Sargent. And then last week, Kevin Davis ended Stan Mayo's reign after 1 week. So now we are left with number 1 and number 2. And Kevin Davis in the number 2 spot leads it off in our championship match here on Candlepin Stars and Strikes. We're happy that you could join us. It's got to be a very, well, probably a busy and relaxing weekend for most people. The rush of the holiday is now over, and a chance to sit back today and enjoy a little Candlepin bowling, our little Christmas present to you, Championship Week here on the Winds. Don't forget Stars and Strikes doubles later on this afternoon. It'll be Bob Kelly and Bob Mazur against Jack Sanick and Brian McKinley. That'll be at 5 o'clock this afternoon for our doubles championship match.
So it's safe to say if I haven't got my shopping done, it's too late?
Yeah.
Okay, so sorry, Doug. I'll catch you next year. 8. Starting. Kevin Davis.
Kevin uses all of the approach and a little bit more.
I was going to say, his heels are hanging over the edge.
His right heel is off the back end of the approach when he starts.
2-6-10 left. There's no way but try to cut the 2 over.
And
good effort.
Kevin uses a 4-step approach. His first step is with the right foot.
He gets that rocking motion with his arm first, and then nothing more than a 3-step approach.
Well, you're going to see a lot of this man today. Bob Mazur. Bob's last appearance with us was also in doubles competition back in February and March when he teamed with Glenn LeBlanc, and they won 2 matches before running up against Tim Lipke and Larry Valcourt, who finally knocked them off, and Bob starts it with a spare.
And great spare, too. Splits the 3 and the 6. The wood helps him out with a triangle 4, 7, 8.
He's right in the pocket. Oh, do you believe it?
Here's one where he should really make up his mind before he approaches the pin. It's a little indecision because he could cap a wood. He's going to go right at the pin, and he's got the spare. 2 in a row.
Very efficient start for Bob Mazur. Kevin Davis looking for his first mark. Just a little off target to the right. Kevin last week with a 131, a 122, and a 121 for that 374 to beat Stan Mayo. It really was in doubt until Kevin threw a double strike in the 6th and 7th of Game 3 to ice it. We'll take a 9-box.
And a 26 through 3 boxes.
Take a look at the spare opportunity. Actually, that was the 3rd ball. Oh, will it stay up? It will.
Wasn't even touched. The kingpin, the 5. Watch out. Ooh.
Just got it.
Brady, you might cap that wood and deflect around the 5-pin, but it was deep enough so the ball carried through for the 5. Bob Mazur trying to extend his streak of marks. Start out with 2.
This time a 6 fill. And a 9-box for Bob. Four horsemen plus the 8, and he leaves the 6-pin.
So it's 53 for Bob through 4 and a 17-pin advantage, although Kevin will erase some of those with this fill.
Right in the pocket. Oh, almost danced out the 4-pin for a strike.
But he does get the nice 9 fill. And a piece of wood right up next to that 4-pin. Should be no problem for Kevin.
He's on it. 2 in a row. 2 for each bowler now. Right through the middle for a spread eagle. Nice 10-box for Kevin, keeping his concentration on the spread eagle. Remember, we'll be keeping an eye on the 3-string total for our 2 bowlers today because it holds extra significance not only for the win but also for the seeding in the Tournament of Champions. The 2 bowlers who've already qualified, we mentioned them at the top. Paul Berger with a 464. Peter Flynn with a 403.
Bob just sliding by on the right of that 5-pin. I think when he let it go, he thought he had it covered. Just a 10, so the lead now is just 4 pins for Bob Mazur.
Bob from Dover, New Hampshire, does a lot of his bowling in Newmarket at the Lamprey River Lanes. Bob works for Vision's Beauty Supply in Newburyport, Mass. And now he'll be looking at the 1 and the 7. No, not far enough left to cover it. But Bob will maintain the lead. Takes it out for the 10, a 4-pin advantage. The head pin. And he's got it for the spare. Kevin's 3rd mark. And on the mark, it'll be 7 as the 6-pin slides over a bit. And the wood might have cost him the shot.
I think you're probably right, although it was an inverted triangle. Pretty tough shot anyways.
9 box, 95 through 8.
Full hit for Bob, drives the ball right straight through. And it's a 9.
So
82.
First time Kevin Davis has the lead. $500 to the runner-up of this week's show. $1,000 to the winner. Oh, nice looking pocket hit for Bob Mazur. It took a little while. Bob doesn't throw the ball very hard, but he eventually got rewarded for a terrific pocket hit that time.
Now Kevin Davis for his final 2, 95 through 8. And full hit. He really looked like he was firing that ball. In fact, looked like he threw it so hard that he lost his balance at the point of release.
Oh, will it go?
Look at that! Not much daylight in between that piece of wood and that 10-pin. Wow. He could be here for a while.
That's right. He's got to wait for that to stop. And a 10. Kevin Davis, today is his 7th appearance on Stars and Strikes overall, and he's only lost 1 time in his first 6. Of course, 4 of those 5 wins were in doubles competition, mixed doubles competition with Carol Downey. Spare in the 10th for Kevin, 115 plus a mark, or rather plus a ball. And an 8 drop for a 123 opening game. And Bob Mazur can top that with 1 mark here in the final 2. He's working on a strike. Looking for 2 in a row. Drops 8.
5-9 left. And piece of wood rolling over next to the 5. Wraps around.
And he's on it. Spare on strike.
So I would say he's going to have the lead, depending how many, depending on the fill of the spare.
Oh, another nice looking first ball. He gets 8 again, but this time the leave is a little different. The 7 and the 10.
Yeah, but I think if he goes to the right-hand tip of that front piece of wood, he might spin it against the second piece and have them kind of split and take the 7. No, he's going way to the right, left, I should say. And, obviously, he saw something I didn't see.
Well, he covered the 10 okay, but the ball deflected away from the 7 pin, and he covers that for the 10. A 130 for Bob Mazur. So we finished one of our 3-string championship match here on Candlepin Stars and Strikes. Bob Mazur in the lead by 7. We'll be back. Bob Mazur leading the match by 7 as we begin game 2. $7 for Bob. Back on the head pin, a little full, and it results in the split, the 2, 4, and 6, with no playable wood. Let's see. Nope.
Well, 7-pin advantage. It's going to open the door right up for Kevin Davis early in the second game. 2 open frames.
16 opening pair for Bob Mazur.
Get on the head pin now. Right away.
Just caught a piece of the head pin on the way by. And a 9. Have you made any New Year's resolutions?
Yes.
Would you like to
But I can't
share
remember
any
what
of
they
them?
were. What was that resolution? Not to forget? I gave up giving them or taking them or promising them because I could never keep them. Five pin for the spare. No.
Ooh,
So
that was an opportunity lost.
that's for sure. 2 open frames for Bob Mazur. Kevin Davis follows with 2 open of his own. Gains a few in count. So the lead now is just a mere 4 pins for Bob Mazur.
Oh, there's another light hit, and there's the benefit of it. You see, the pins just kind of hang around, and of course the combination of that and the fact that Bob's ball is not moving particularly fast to begin with, it stays out there a little bit longer.
You see the pin just rocking and rolling on the plate, and
this time, not.
they were rocked, but they didn't roll.
That looked like a pretty good hit, too.
Did. Gotta go after. Just like the 10 pin was there.
Oh!
Oh,
do
that
you believe it?
close. Oh, my.
Well, if it had fallen over, you would have hit it, but instead he just kind of slid it over there. So it's just a 9 box and 43 through 4. Bob may be thinking about that one for a while.
Yeah, I almost had to play it like the 10 pin was there, but kind of flush on the 6 pin to hop the 6 into the 9, and then the 9 is supposed to topple into the 8. Did it, except the 9 pin, or 8 pin, yeah, 9 pin did not want to fall. Just slid over. Too bad. 10 pin for Kevin Davis. A couple pieces of wood in front. That just turned a little bit. Got to be very careful with these two.
Got it. He's right on it. Matches the spare. Remember, Kevin trailed by 7 coming into this match, or coming into this string, I should say. Could make some of that up with a big fill here. Well, just one. This looks great if it goes, but it's a very tough shot. Well, this thing's going to be a little closer as we get ready to take our break. We're just about halfway through our championship match. Kevin Davis has pulled within 5 pins now of Bob Mazur, and we'll be back with more on Stars and Strikes in a minute. Bob Mazur. Nine drop this time.
Lonely 10 pin. Very nicely done. Bob's ball is almost straight. If anything, it breaks from left to right, a little back up a little bit, but mostly it's straight. Kind of helped him in that shot. Went right down the right-hand side of the lane, right into the 10 pin. Never wavered too much after off 2 or 3 boards on the lane.
7 drop on the spare.
Probably going to try to sweep the wood next to the 5 pin from right to left.
Oh, we just missed it. Don't forget to try your luck at Tri-State Megabucks this week. Take a shot at the big jackpot. Just imagine being rich. Tri-State Megabucks, the presenting sponsor of Candlepin Stars and Strikes. This is the 5th year that Tri-State Megabucks has been with us. Great supporters of the program and of Candlepin Bowling. Kevin Davis. Well, that looked much better than that.
Certainly did. That's a cluster of 5 that you usually see something like that in the right or left-hand corner. But this time it's the 2, 4, 5, 8, 9.
Tough shot no matter where it is. It's a 9. So Bob Mazur, by virtue of that spare, extends his lead now to 13. But he did leave this box open. Tell you what, even that match that Mike Sargent was more than 50 pins behind a couple of weeks ago, even that match ended up close. Everything has been close in this series, it seems, and Kevin Davis unloads with the big strike. Okay, Dan, how do you play this one?
Well, again, you're going to have to go after the, like the 10 pin was there, just catch the 6 like you did before and sweep everything to the...
Oh, kind of like that.
Exactly like that. Just forgot the 7 pin.
That strike a moment ago, by the way, by Kevin Davis was his first of the match. Let's see if we can see what happened to Bob here. Oof, the 8 pin right in front of the 7. This time he misses the head pin to the left. Ooh, Bob almost had that.
Well, he's going to leave 2 open frames for Kevin Davis to work on, who is going to not only work on those 2 open frames, but work on a strike when he gets up there. This match is going to be pretty close by the time Kevin gets through these 2 boxes. 11-pin advantage for Bob Mazur. Most of those will go with this ball.
Well, let's see. What'll Kevin end up with? Don't go away yet.
1, 2, 10. Makeable spare with the wood behind the 1 and the 2.
Oh, we missed it, though.
Missed the object pin. Cardinal sin. Missing your object pin really reduces your chances of making the spare unless something comes back.
10 bucks. Bob Mazur's lead is down to 2. See, Kevin leads in this game by 5. But in the lower left-hand corner, the overall lead still held by Bob Mazur at 2. Again, a very light hit that time. And you see the result. The 9-pin drop, that's 7-pin, is going to be fronted by this wood. Question is how many and where. The piece in front is perpendicular to the 7-pin. It should go right back, and it does.
Spare in the 8th.
Kevin should take the lead, at least temporarily, with the fill on that mark. Bob Mazur now, his final 2, game 2.
Boy. These look like pretty good balls going into the pockets, but he's leaving some weird leaves. This time the 4, 8, 10. Well, the wood would take the, looks like the 8 and 10. That's the 4-pin he's got to find a way of capturing. This time looks like he's going to have to cap that piece of wood, but then you don't know about the other 2. He's still going to the right.
Nope. An 8 bucks, 95 through 9. Bob had a 130 opening game. Misses the head pin again, but he's got something to shoot at here. The 1, 3, and 7. With plenty of wood.
Shot very similar that Kevin just missed the head pin on. Let's see if Bob doesn't. He converts that for a spare in the 10th. He just catches the head pin. Now the fill.
That was his 7th mark. 5 spares, 2 strikes. And he'll carry 8 for a 113 and a 2-game total 243. Kevin Davis also has 7 marks to this point, 6 spares and 1 strike. He's working on a spare right now. Only 5. That's enough to give him the lead, at least temporarily, by 4 in the match. But he'll have to come up with a mark in the 10th to keep the lead.
Back and forth we go.
Ho-hum, another nail biter. No, Kevin pulled that one a little bit too much, and not only did he only carry 3, but the 4-pin slid way over in front of the 7, making the shot even more difficult.
Absolutely.
Oh!
He made it, though.
Nothing to it. Maybe it didn't make it more difficult.
Certainly put those 2 pins closer together. Actually,
Split it.
Yeah. Threw the head pin right between the 4 and the 7.
That's a great shot. And this could give him the lead. It does. A 7 fill, a 124, and with that fill, Kevin Davis takes the lead by 4 in the match with still 1 game to go. Who knows how this thing will turn out? One of these guys is going to the Tri-State Megabucks Tournament of Champions, and we'll pick up a check for $1,000 on the way. We'll be back to see about it after these words. Kevin Davis will lead things off here in Game 3. This thing a long way from over. Kevin leads by just 4. It's going to take a big third game for either one of these guys to top the 2 scores that we already have qualified for the Tournament of Champions, but they're not worried about that right now because this match is too close. We've got to worry about the win first.
And Kevin just sliding by the 2-pin at the 2 and the 5. And that's right. That's the first and foremost in their mind is winning the match. That person and only that person goes to the Tournament of Champions regardless of the score.
This came up here during the show. One of the spectators here at Park Place was asking why it is that a bowler such as Kevin Davis, who won a show already, has to bowl first. Kevin, of course, will finish first, and then Bob Mazur will get the last at bat, if you will. The reason is because Kevin is the lower seeded bowler, so even though he already won his match, the higher seed of the 2 bowlers gets last at bat. That's how it works. And how about that for a box? A 6 box leaving the back row.
That's a tough box because he hit his object pin in every single time and still ended up with only a six box. So a chance for Bob Mazur to retake the lead. Even without, well, without the mark, he could tie the match. 2 10 boxes.
This match just kind of sitting there to be taken right now.
2, 4, 7, and 9.
Oh, he got by. Or actually, it looked like he might have capped that wood.
I think he did. I think he caught a little bit of the wood, but it wasn't enough to deflect the ball away from the 2-pin.
Yep. Nice shot, Bob Mazur.
And he can take the lead right now. And he does.
Oh, coming back. 8 Phil. So he swings over to a 4-pin lead temporarily. Each bowler now with 8 marks in the match. Cindy Sissom's going to hustle down and take a look at that piece of wood in front. It appears that it's probably in play, but it'll be close either way, I think.
It's very close.
Well, I was wrong. Out of play. Actually, with that out of there and now this other piece of wood angled, he may still have a shot at it. Let's see. No, not quite. And that's a 9 box. But Bob Mazur takes the lead by 7. Taking advantage of the mark and also of the 6 box that Kevin Davis put up there a moment ago.
Well, makeable spare. It doesn't look that great, but 2, 4, 7 and the 10, but a couple pieces of wood in between the 4 and the 6 and the 10, which should help with the 10-pin. Ooh, missed the object again, though, just sliding by the 2-pin.
Neither of these bowlers has ever been in a Tournament of Champions, so it would be the first appearance for either of them.
Oh, boy.
Whoa.
Was that a strike or was that a strike? Watch this one. This is a quick one. Boom. Well, back and forth we go. Just when it looks like Bob Mazur may take control of the match somewhat. Goes through the middle, and as we all know that Kevin is sitting on a strike.
It's a 9.
36. Lead is now just 6. And there you see the story. Strike already up there for Kevin Davis.
Bob is in the Brooklyn pocket, but not much to show for it.
6, 10, and the 7 pin.
Well, this thing is going to be very, very close, going to the final 6. A 9 box for Bob Mazur. We will take a break. When we come back, Kevin Davis will be filling that strike in the 4th and very possibly retaking the lead. That's how close it is. Just 5 pins the difference right now. We'll be back to settle it here on Stars and Strikes. Don't go away. Kevin Davis checking the bottom of his shoes a la Larry Bird before stepping up to the line.
Before shooting this foul shot.
That was a strike, Phil.
Of course, this is very close to where last week he threw a double strike to really take control of the match. Well, he was in the 6th and 7th frames, I think, last week. 5 and 6. Just
No.
7 on the...
You were right, 6 and 7. That 7, Phil, gives Kevin the lead here, at least for the moment, by 2. And he takes it out for a 10 box. Every 10 box could be critical right now.
Absolutely. That 3rd ball is so very, very important. Leave anything standing except for that 2nd box where he had just a 6. Well, 2, 4, 6. Piece of wood in between the 2 and the 4, which should help the 2 jump over toward the 6 if you can pinch it on the left-hand side.
Nope.
And behind it.
Well, he's got the lead, but he also left 2 open boxes. So not what he had hoped for, stepping up for these 2 boxes. He did get 2 10s, but if Bob Mazur can throw a mark up here, he should retake the lead.
Just waiting for that extra pin to fall.
And when it does, it's not the right one,
No.
it seems.
4, 7, and 10.
Now watch out for the way this wood is lined up, though.
He gets the 4 and 7. You got a chance of throwing something across for the 10.
Yes, sir!
Fantastic shot.
Just had it lined up perfectly. It was like a combination shot in pool.
Just kind of clips the head of the wood, sends a 2nd piece over for the 10. So he can regain the lead with anything over 2.
Oh, he's full, and he knew it. He knew that that was going to be right in the pocket, right in the middle, rather. Perfectly full on the head pin. He does take the lead, but not in the way he wanted.
And he's going to lose a few in count here, so could be even or 1 or 2 pins one way or the other.
How about dead even? Dead even with 4 boxes to go. You see the zeros at the bottom. That means it's tied. Well, that seems to be the pattern for this series.
Absolutely. We've had some great matches. Not real high-scoring matches a lot of times, but did have a 400 by Stan Mayo, but they've been all close.
The diamond, oh, gave it a run.
So he will be open in the 7th. Advantage Mazur.
Interesting, the score dead even after 26 boxes, and also each bowler with 7 spares and 2 strikes to this point.
So that has to mean that the fills were total on the marks were pretty close. And then you go back to the pinning. Light hit this time, and that's the forte. That's what you have to do, as Doug alluded to a number of times. That seems that light hit, keep the pins on the plate. Watch them scramble off the sidewall, and domino effect for the last 3. Bob Mazur up for his 7th and 8th. Got a shot at a spare, 4 and 8.
And yes, went to the outside, had to hang on to see if there was-
You thought he was going to take out just the 4-pin like I did. Yes. That takes a little bit of pressure off this box, knowing that Kevin has a strike.
Not many of these marks that the bowlers have had, and they've had 10 each now, not many of them have come back to back. Well, here's an opportunity for Bob to put 2 up back to back. He takes the lead with that fill, but remember, he's opposite a strike here. Yes, he's got it.
I think he would have just chopped out the front one on that one if it weren't for the wood behind, the wood kick forward. But it's 2 in a row and an 8-pin advantage. Kevin Davis working on a strike.
Well, right now it's pretty obvious that whatever the winning score here, it's going to be the 3rd place score, well behind Paul Berger and Peter Flynn's 3-string totals. Remember, this is a strike fill for Kevin Davis. He can't afford a mistake with this ball. He'll take 6.
Well, he's definitely going to have to throw a big mark in the 10th.
And a 7.
That hurts in count. Leaving those 3 pins standing. 96 after 9.
Light hit. He'll have a shot at a mark. Don't know what that wood will do. He may try to red line it. He does for the spare. That was really his only chance, Dan, to kind of give himself any shot at all here.
He'll have to throw a big fill. Anything, 8, 9, or 10. At least it'll give Bob something to think about. But he is working on a spare in the 8th.
And it'll be an 8 fill, a 114, and a 3-string total 361. So that means Bob Mazur must get 119 to win it. Now remember, he's got 95 plus
He's at
a fill ball here.
115 clip right now, so he can't make a mistake on the spare.
He doesn't. Big 9 drop for Bob.
And this would probably ice it if he can get this. If he doesn't, then you'd have to hope. Kevin Davis have to hope Bob has a real bad box, but he's not going to miss this with a piece of wood in front.
Well, we talked about the bowlers having trouble putting marks together. There you are, 3 in a row for Bob Mazur. That's the first time today that either bowler has had 3 in a row. And it should be good enough to give Bob Mazur the $1,000, and you can write him the check. Bob Mazur will advance to the 1993 Tri-State Megabucks Tournament of Champions.
4, 7-10 left for Bob, and probably enjoy this box a lot more than the other 29.
Well, Bob's going to be in the 370s. So his seeding will probably not be that high when everything is said and done, but he knows now that he's in the Tournament of Champions, and that is the important thing right now. 374 for Bob Mazur. He's the winner, and he advances to the Tournament of Champions, and will advance to talk to both bowlers and have our bonus ball contest after these words. Welcome back. Half of our championship week competition is over here on Stars and Strikes, and it was kind of a funny match, Dan. It was really just sitting there for one bowler to take it. Bob Mazur puts 3 marks in a row together, and there you have it.
I think you summed it up when you said that they weren't able to tie the marks together, and it just so happens that Bob was one that strung 3 in a row, and that was the difference.
All right, let's give some money away. First of all, the runner-up check for Kevin Davis. Bring him on up with a round of applause. This is the second place check for $500, and Kevin, you also won a brand new set of bowling balls last week, so not a bad take for you. It was just kind of sitting there right at the end, kind of just hanging there for both of you to take it, and Bob was able to get it.
Yep, and I couldn't put one up. I was spread eagles all day. Didn't have much breaks. The wood wasn't kicking.
We were talking a lot about the fact that it seemed hitting the head pin light seemed to be the way to go, really, the way it was.
Yeah, and I was full.
Yeah. Well, again, congratulations, terrific performance, and perhaps we'll see you again soon. Thanks
Okay,
very much.
thanks.
All right, Kevin, thanks very much. And now let's have Bob Mazur throw our bonus ball on lane 31. We're going to try for our second straight win. We had a $70 winner last week, and just to repeat, because it is Christmas, we didn't empty out the big TV. All the cards are still in there, so we'll see if we can't get another winner. And Bob is knocked down 6. Not a match for Arthur Pantelides, I believe it is, from Somersworth, New Hampshire. Arthur's guess was 7, so Arthur, you'll be receiving an NHCBA TV50 consolation prize. Thanks very much for your entry. And I've got a little check for you, Mr. Mazur, for $1,000. Congratulations. Step right in here so we can get a look at you.
Wasn't the best performance I've ever had on the show, but unfortunately it was enough to get it done, and hopefully I can work my way up from, obviously I think with the 374 will be from the bottom of the ladder, but in the tournament champions.
When you're there.
Yeah, any day with any of the bowlers that appear on the show, anybody can beat anybody else. So hopefully it'll be my day and I can have a good one.
3 marks in a row did it for you at the end. That was the margin that you needed, and congratulations. We'll look for you in the spring on the Tournament of Champions.
Thank you very much. I think that was the only time during the match that anybody put anything together.
That's
and
it.
Fortunately, it turned out to be a win.
Congratulations, Bob.
Much.
All right,
Yeah,
with a 374, Bob Mazur advances to the Tournament of Champions. He joins Paul Berger and Peter Flynn, and of course, a little bit later on this afternoon, Bob will have a chance to qualify for the doubles Tournament of Champions, as well as he'll be teamed with Bob Kelly as they try and defend their number 1 spot there. But at least he knows he's in 1 already.
That's right, and with some tough company, but he's a welcome addition.
All right, next week, of course, 1993 begins, and we'll have a brand new series here on Stars and Strikes. But don't forget, after our movie double feature here on the Winds this afternoon, we'll be back at 5 o'clock from the Londonderry Bowling Center with our championship match there, as Bob Kelly and Bob Mazur will try and defend their number 1 spot in the doubles tournament, or in the doubles final, I should say. The winners of that match, of course, also to move on to the doubles Tournament of Champions. Until later this afternoon, then, for Dan Murphy and the whole TV Sports crew, I'm Doug Brown. Happy New Year, everybody, and we'll see you later on.